Welcome, Deviant Drivers. I'm back.
Welcome back.
uh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys did good last week. That
You
was
left me high and dry, man. I had to deal with Preston and his beard put my beard to shame, so it was really embarrassing staring at it. And it
I
was one
saw
of the
that.
longer podcasts we've had because you're not sitting there telling us we're going too long. Um, we got off topic multiple different times. We put GT4 before GT3. So yeah, welcome back. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing better. You look better.
Doing better.
Not that I
Yep, yep.
saw how you looked to begin with, but struggling here to get my freaking beer open. Ooh, there we go.
Whoa. All right.
We're good.
What kind are
Welcome.
you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a mystery beer. No label. No nothing. This was brewed by Curious Guy and Slug. It is a triple. So we'll see how she pours.
It's a triple what?
It's called a triple, like a Belgian triple. So it smells good. It smells of fig and raisins and all sorts of wonderful juiciness. Let me guess. You're drinking something that's one step up from where Preston was drinking.
Was Preston drinking?
He drank a PBR. Did you not watch?
That's right. Yes. Yeah, he did the old
I'll
throwback.
I'll shut this damn thing down now if you didn't watch.
Oh, I watched. I watched. It was good. It was good. It was good.
So, well,
You took care of business. Appreciate it.
yeah, it's funny. Like, well, I don't want to say it's funny, but it's just like at work. You don't realize how ingrained somebody is in a process until they're out for an extended period of time. Um, Me being out of my surgery with work, I got all sorts of crap when I got back with, we didn't realize you were doing this. We didn't realize you were doing that. And and that was scheduled. You being out unexpectedly, thankfully, Chaotica Glovis, good support team helped back us up. But it was like, all right, we got to find someone to host. We got someone to do the podcast. My computer was all on the fritz doing that crap. So yeah, but we pulled it together. We're glad you came back. We know you were just racing with another league.
It's good to be back. Yes. Yes, that's indeed what I was doing. I was racing. Yeah. So yeah, we're back. We had a good weekend, I think. It was one of everybody's, I think, relative popular tracks that we did.
Well,
Uh
this
the
was
world.
voted on by the viewers, if you want to put it that way.
It's
We
true.
didn't vote this one. This was voted by them. And so was the
Yeah.
next race.
Yep, that's right. So, yeah. So I enjoy Road Atlanta. It it it's a tire murdering track. But you know, uh, aside from that aspect, it's a fun track. You agree?
Yeah, actually, this is where I tested all the cars before picking cars for this season. I knew it was on the schedule, so I wanted to see how bad the tires would be. Um, and I figured this one kind of wrapped up the whole season as far as a track that was going to really just be horrible on tires between this track and the last track. But no, I like Road Atlanta. I like that it's short. Um, so with testing, you can kind of get your answers pretty quickly rather than I love racing at Spa, but there's so many variables for screw ups that I don't know if you get a true test. So I pretty much go for the shorter tracks. But no, I like Road Atlanta. I did well at it last time. I did well this time. Um, it is a little bit of a tough track. It's a short track. It was a lot of laps. So no one got lapped though in our league anyway. GT4 there was a couple laps.
Mm-hmm.
One in particular, we'll call him the anchor silo. I'm sitting there next to him like, dude, blue flag means get over. Like, get out of the way. Blue flag, blue flag. So,
Is he
but
in the
no,
room there? Like, does he want to be like an unannounced guest or something?
no, not tonight. He actually just flew out. I think he's heading to like New Jersey or something like that for work. So no impromptu guest for tonight. But I like Road Atlanta. Um, the strategy was not as hard as the last race that we did, but it was definitely interesting for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. Like I say, it kills tires, makes strategizing quite difficult. Safety car pick, horrible. Um,
Yeah, I did not do that on purpose. That was
could
random.
not have
Just
could not have been a worse safety car. Literally the last lap it was possible. And interesting, I think we discussed yesterday, even possibly. I believe the safety car for GT4 came out at the earliest possible lap, wasn't it? So
yeah, I
they had
believe
the
so.
earliest possible. We had the latest possible. What's the
Yeah,
chance of that?
poor Preston. Like when I saw it roll 32, I was like, damn man, I'm sorry. Just grab a snack,
Grab a
get some
snack
waffles
and
off a
go take a
boost.
nap, you
Yeah,
know.
go take a nap and go from there. But um overall, I mean, this was your you didn't miss a GT3 race while you were out, did you? No, you didn't.
No, no, I haven't missed one.
So you didn't do well the last race, Dragon Trail,
There
Death
were,
Chicane.
were several.
We
Well,
th-
in all
I
fairness, I
hold
didn't realize how bad off
well,
I
true,
was until
true.
I got to the hospital. And so a lot of guys have been checking in. I appreciate all you guys for checking in, your concern and everything. You've been reaching out individually and private messaging me. I appreciate it. And yeah, a lot of people have been asking, what happened. Basically, what happened is I was sick one week. Junkai overworked me afterwards, making me do all
You can't
sorts of
handle
duties.
Nashville.
And while I was sick, I thought it was beneficial to drink lots of water. Like they always say, drink lots of fluids. Well, evidently, I inadvertently used up all my salt. Didn't really know that was a thing and went to the hospital thinking that, I get an IV and they'll send me on my way with a pat on the ass and we'll be on our way and ready to go. But instead, they put me in ICU, said I should be just about dead.
Yeah,
All I really
yeah.
wanted to do was go smoke a cigarette, but they wouldn't let me do that. So I was there for like 4 days or something, and yeah, it is what
Yeah,
it
you went
is.
in on Thursday and out on
Monday.
Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, that was
So
nuts.
yeah, so apparently when you don't feel good, uh instead of drinking a lot of water, drink Gatorade.
Yeah, electrolytes help. I did again. I know I told you this, but I really tried to get your wife to bring the PlayStation down there
I know. She told me.
so we
She
could
came in, she said, yeah,
even.
she says Junkai's been trying to get me to bring the PlayStation. And I was like, hell with that, just bring the whole damn rig.
Well, yeah.
Plenty of
Well, I
room
was
over here.
thinking if you were, couldn't move your appendages and wanted to just lay there and be lazy, we could go old school and just start killing zombies again,
Take it
Call
back
of
to the
Duty
old COD
style.
days, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, again, man, good to have you back. Hate that you went through that. You, according to the leaderboard, you appeared to have been feeling a little bit better. Maybe it was confidence in the track. Maybe it was just you feeling a little bit better than what you had. You didn't run out of gas, so that's always a plus. Um, so here we are.
Well, it helps when you don't run out of gas. And I didn't really realize just how basically dizzy I was previously. And whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like Road Atlanta and didn't practice overly a lot for it, but I just liked the track and I had a real consistent run. The one thing that got me was safety car. It was just a bad safety car and
So what
basically
was your? Well, go ahead, go and jump into it. What was your strat?
So what my strategy was medium, medium, soft, soft. And I could on that safety car lap when I was doing the strategy, I was like, I really don't want the safety car to be this lap because that is one lap after the safety car that was one too long for me to run softs. But I wanted the soft tires at the end, and I was like, I'll just really hope that. I mean, what's the chances it's going to be that lap, right? There's like 27 laps or something it could have been. I was like, statistically, not likely. That's the one that it drew. And so the entire race, I was like, man, I was double thinking the strategy. And I was saying to myself, I said, self, this just isn't going to go well at the end. But I have a feeling that, and then all you guys pitted before safety car, and I was like, yeah, that's the thing to do, but I definitely can't do that. Um, and run softs. And I was like, I'd rather not be mediums. I was like, maybe these guys are getting better tires. I was like, forget about it. I got strategy. We'll just roll with it. And it turned out okay. I made a lot of positions back, but it's like we discussed prior, it's tough to pass. You have a lot of sections in that track, especially right after turn one. That whole S section, you can't get too wide through there. It's just too much back and forth, and two cars aren't going to go. And then you have the straightaway, which unless you're right on their bumper to be able to pass, you really catch up, but you don't get in a passing position by the time you get to that chicane at the end of the straight. And then you're back up the hill, cross start finish line, start all over again. There's just not that many areas to do anything.
Yeah,
So I got back what I could, but whatever.
yeah, yeah. It was one planning on the potential for all those different safety cars was a lot, you know.
Mhm.
But agree with you, when it hit last, it is like one constant to this league is one, it's never going to rain when we race. Two, it's either going to be the first lap possible, the last lap possible, or dead center. It's never anywhere else. I don't know what it is. I put it in right. Trust me. I have a kid that proves that. So, but yeah, we were running. My initial strategy was medium, soft, medium, medium. And we did that, except for, like you were saying, that that stop on 32, knowing it was going to be 43 laps, um, means green flag at 34, which really just gives us 9 laps to race with. That 9 laps exceeded what I could do on softs. I could only do 7 laps on softs. So I knew softs were not going to be even an option, which I was glad about because it kind of made the answer for me. I didn't have to think about it. But during the race, it was overcast, and I was able to get an extra lap um, on my first stint of mediums. So I was able to go 13 laps. And then when it came to the softs, I was able to go a little bit farther as well. So I kind of bumped my stints out to kind of give me a buffer. Not that it really would have mattered on that last stint, but just to feel a little bit more comfortable. As long as I wasn't losing a ton of time, I stayed on the tire. But after that second last pit, knowing I had one more pit stop left with the safety car, I was like beating myself up on if I was going to pit on 30 or pit on 32. I did not know. I think last race I pit on the safety car because it was more beneficial. But for this one, like you said, it being so difficult to pass and then work your way through the traffic, I felt like it was more important to get out front and hope that the tires would save. Katika sent me this nice little video last week on how to save your tires a little bit because he's consistently better than I am, just like you were when we were on the same team. So I looked through that, applied everything I learned. It didn't do anything. But nonetheless, I took the gamble and went in on 30, hoping that I'd be able to make the tires last until the end of the race, which inevitably I did. But I took it easy though. I didn't try to over push it. I had you know, when you only have 9 laps left, I mean, you can't make a mistake. You make a mistake and you're losing position, you're losing points. We had 4 drivers who missed this week. We had Glovis out, Boost out, Zod was out, and then K2 Mars. This is a second race miss, so I don't know what's going on with that, but it would give everyone an extra little opportunity to move up in the points rankings. So I had Besso on me. I had about a 2 second to a second and a half split. And I was just trying to maintain that. I wasn't trying to overly push because I wanted to save the tires, because I didn't want them to die, because all I was thinking about is how I passed Dirksey last time we were here and passed him on the last turn going into it. So I didn't want to be that guy. Sorry, Dirks. We're on the same team now, so we can talk about it. But that was my strat. It was medium soft, medium medium. I didn't want to start on softs. A lesson learned from Dragon Trail is pitting early. You get put into really thick traffic, and it's hard to get through that and or keep a good pace. So I told Chaotic, I was like, look, dude, I don't care what we're doing. I'm starting on mediums. I don't care. Starting on mediums. That way the field spreads out. And when we do pit, then you got a little bit more wiggle room on moving through the field or whatnot. So that's what we did. So
Well, worked out for you again.
I know Road Atlanta pretty well though. Like, it's right down the street. Like I take the expedition out there on the weekends, cut some track. Yeah. I'll say this though, like, I did not get an opportunity to practice with my team this week or leading up to it. We talked how we were doing, strats and all that, but I was very, very surprised and excited for Chaotica. He put some laps down that we have not seen out of him yet.
Yeah, him and I
And
had a battle for a long time there in the middle of the
uh-huh.
race. Yep.
Yeah, we started 1 and 2 on pole, which was badass for Team Lexus anyway. Just looking at the video, he lost it very soon after that, but he was up at the front for a good part of the race, and just after the safety car, he hit some grass, and that was it. I heard him mutter just like, "Oh, there goes my race," and that sucks, especially when it's self-inflicted. It sucks either way, but yeah, I was proud of him for doing what he did, because he hung up at the top for quite a while this race, and it was good.
Well, since we're
So
talking about the finishing order, go ahead and walk us through where everybody finished.
so first place for this race, I took first place. Besso took second. This was, I believe, let me check.
Yes,
His
he did.
huh?
He did take second place, and I've never heard of anybody getting as excited over
Well, he
over
hasn't
second.
podiumed all season.
No, I know, but he was
Yeah,
overly excited.
that's great though. That's the
It
point. That's
is.
the point of the
It
league.
is. It was surprising, but yeah, he was very, 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 very vocal about it.
Mm-hmm. And
Like,
I'll
oh,
say this though too. Like, I even paid attention. He started in 8th position
did he?
on pole and worked his way up to second. And it wasn't in like the first lap and people messed up or anything like that. It was just a methodical chipping away at who was ahead of him. He was in 8th place,
It
and he
goes
just
to
kind of.
show for the
Mm-hmm.
700th time, you don't need to have fastest lap to win the race. You need to be consistent. Consistency will gain you more points than being fastest
Yes,
lap.
100%. So, but yeah, Besso took second. Tex took third. Little funny story about that. I'll tell you in a second. Fourth was Floody, so VW 2 and 4, which was great for them. You took fifth, Zen in sixth, Chaotica in seventh, Badrock in eighth, Nismo in ninth, and Berman in 10th. Berman's still sitting below that relegation line with 9-point spread between him and his teammate. So we have some internal friction coming down to this last race. So, I know that we all know the Audi has been a tough car choice for these guys. Red Bull Ring, I don't anticipate it being as big or as hard to manage. I think that one, what is it, turn two, where you have that very steep incline turn, that might give them a little bit of a issue. But I think, the biggest issue with them is turning and braking at the same time. I saw uh I saw Berman on turn one at Atlanta, that high speed braking turning zone at Atlanta. Like he'd come fishtailing in, sliding, just because that rear end wants to keep going around. So eh, if Bad Rock has a bad day and Berman steps it up, I mean,
It's 9 points. I mean, it's a 9 point
it's
spread,
possible.
so it's possible. This at Road Atlanta, I don't know, if that's maybe one of Bad Rock's preferable tracks, or he just particularly likes it. But it
Hmm.
was one of the two races that was his best finish this season. I
Hmm.
don't know if Red Bull Ring is one that he favors more or less, but
Yeah.
um,
I just think Red Bull, everyone, I don't want to say it's maybe everyone's favorite, but everyone just knows it.
yeah,
From
that's
F1, from
yeah.
uh daily races, whatever. It's just an easy track to kind of, I don't want to say it's easy. It's just not as technical as some of the tracks we've run this season.
No,
So I think
no.
it's a good way to finish that.
Yep. Well, we will see where everything lands here in 2 weeks, or a little less than 2 weeks. We'll see where it takes everybody, and then we will know for certain promotion and relegation drivers, and who's in for the free pass and who's going to have to race it out to get into GT3, which I think is going to be an awesome, awesome race. Can't wait for
Hmm.
that.
No, that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I know everyone else is. I think we probably will end up with our highest viewers. And again, it's just something different we've never done before with having live stewards. We're going to have the Zen and Floody show commentating, just like Peyton and Eli would for football. So it's going to be, we'll see. It'll be either a bust or it'll be a huge hit. I don't know. But
Hey, yeah, I think regardless of how it goes, I think the viewership is going to be up. I think everybody's coming into it ready to have some fun. And yeah, it's a ton of firsts. I mean, we've never done promotion relegation before. We've never had
yep.
live stewards before. We certainly have never turned over the podcast to two drivers to get as inebriated as they potentially can, and then announce it. So yeah,
Hmm.
there's a lot of firsts. I think regardless how it shakes out, who ends up in GT3 and who ends up in GT4, I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and I think it will be a competitive race because we got some competitive drivers that are looking to be going to it. So
They want to be in GT3, that's for sure.
yep.
So they'll have an opportunity. They will have an opportunity. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a good race week. I I mean, it was a slow and steady wins the race. What I was chuckling about earlier is when the safety car started, I saw where we all lined up, and it was me, Tex, then Besso. And I remember this because going back to the GP circuit and Besso and Tex running after a late safety car. And Tex was like, dude, we don't have to race every single corner. Like, let's catch up and then we'll start racing. And Besso was like, no, man, I'm coming. I'm coming. Or no, it was the other way around. He was defending every single corner. And Tex is like, look, man, I'm not trying to pass you yet. And he's like, no, we're going, we're going. So I heard Tex behind me. He's just like, man, are you gonna go for the corner just on the safety car alone? And Bess is like, man, I'm coming, I'm coming. And Tex is like, please just don't. Just let's catch up and then let's go. And he's like, no, I'm coming, I'm coming. So I was hoping for it just to get a little bit bigger of a lead. Um, Bessel got around him at some point and started, gaining on me a little bit, and then he'd drop off a little bit. So I kept a close eye on it. But that's I know we talk multiple different times about safety car, but I think that's the benefit of it. Like even though it was late, anyone who screwed up in the beginning was able to kind of reset, and it kept the race close. Like finishing 2 seconds apart, and some was closer than even that. So I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Not so much throwing out the window of the whole first quarter or 3/4 of the race, honestly. So it just made
Yeah.
for fun, enjoyable racing towards the end there. And
Well, and yeah, it does. And there was the comment made in GT4, I forget who said it, but they said, we're all spread out on the field, looks like a GT3 race, which it has a tendency to do. We get kind of spread out, especially on relatively smaller tracks like Road Atlanta. And you can get spread out all around the track, and it does sort of feel like you're just kind of churning laps, over and over and over again by yourself,
mhm,
and bringing that safety car in and bringing the field back together and doing that restart. Restarts are generally more uh nerve-wracking for me than the actual first start, because on the first start everybody's at zero. Here you're doing a lot of things. You're balancing speed, and I know there's some discussion within the forum tonight of different safety car issues and things, but you're trying to do many things at once, and then everybody all of a sudden goes, and all of a sudden turn one comes, and
yeah,
you're all just kind of piling in there, and
hmm
just trying to. Everybody wants to survive, but also everybody
yeah,
wants to gain a position, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. Well, I mean, you being in the Mercedes, like when you hit the gas, you don't have to worry about anyone trying to pass you. You're usually looking for a window to squeeze your little nose in there,
Hmm.
see if you can get up ahead of anybody. So yeah, we
Yeah.
know what you're doing in that stupid car. It didn't look like you launched as well this weekend. Did it not launch as well, or did you get the same result as usual?
No, no, I did gain a little bit. It was just more of the fact that everybody kind of spread out, and I had to
Yeah,
kind of pick and choose. If you can get a hole with that car and find a slot to just kind of get around, you can gain two positions, sometimes three if
yeah,
you're lucky. But you're at the mercy of, also, if you're going to do that, where that hole is to go. It might be on the outside of the turn
yeah,
going to the next one. It might be on the inside. You don't get to pick and choose. If you try to pick
yeah,
and choose, you're just going to get what you get, and that's going to be it. Otherwise, you're just going to have to take what you can get. And
yeah.
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But
So we're not going to talk about the safety car forum discussion tonight. But did you see what I posted? And honestly, I was just joking around. I was on my lawnmower tonight, responding to some of these. But I said, the only guaranteed way is to force everyone to pit on the safety car, which would be extremely interesting. I think it would cause a lot of incidents coming out because everyone's kind of tucked in behind. But I mean, at the same time, like you wouldn't, if you didn't want to take tires and fuel, you wouldn't have to. You could just do a roll through,
yeah,
or
you
you
could.
know,
Yeah. Yeah, there's
just force everybody,
certainly
which
there's
be
been some suggestions that we will take under
yes,
advisement. Doesn't mean that we're going to change things. It doesn't mean that we
yeah,
won't
we're
change
not listening
things.
to any of them. You don't
Yeah.
run this shit. We do.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
We will discuss everything
hmm
as admins, and we may adopt some of these recommendations that have been posted in there. So do keep them coming. We do read them. And we do take what you guys have said seriously. We don't always listen for a sorted number of reasons, but we will always entertain the idea. So keep the suggestions,
Yes,
and we
yes.
shall see in
So,
short order what happens.
all right. Well, why don't you just go ahead and hit us with the leaderboard, the
Okay, so
overall leaderboard.
leaderboard. So with GT3, we are currently sitting with Junkai at first with 115 points, with yet again another fastest lap, which it did turn out to be, if I remember correctly, a 117.4.
No, that was my quali lap.
That was the quali lap.
Yeah,
Yes.
my in race lap was 17.8.
So once again, you have obtained a first ever in your life during the race. So
It was just right
congratulations.
conditions, honestly, like I told you, I tested this car. Every car I tested at Road Atlanta. And the only car that I felt was better than the Lexus was the Genesis when it came to the speed, what that car's potential was. The tires were horrible though, far worse than the Lexus on that track. But it's just like I can't even talk. You guys are assholes.
Complete and utter
Continue.
bullshit.
Whatever. I
All
got
right.
nothing to say to you or anybody else in the Discord. I'm trying out here. I'm practicing, and you guys are giving me crap.
Utter bullshit. All right. Second in our points is Boost with 69 points. Third is Floody with 68 points. Right there, one separating. So
Dude,
our
it's
top
close.
three is not nailed down. Uh Besso is fourth with 65 points, so he's in contention for a podium as well. And Texas Speed with 60, he's also within striking distance of podium. So
Hmm.
Red Bull Ring holds quite a bit of possibilities for a lot of these drivers as to order change around. So be practicing so we can see what happens. Sixth is Chaotica with 54. Nismo just behind him with 52. Zen is eight with 45. Myself, Mercury, nine with 43. Coming for you, Zen. Uh, Glovis is 10th with 34. Bad Rock with 29, just above the relegation line. And below relegation line, boom, boom, boom. Berman with 20. K2 Mars with 16. And Zot Soldat is 6 points. So as it sits right now, that is the three going to competition
Hmm.
for relegation. So
It's gonna be interesting.
Bad
I
Rock
can't wait to see
practice. You're only 9 points ahead of
it.
Berman.
Yeah.
Teammates. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be close. The top is close. The top is real close between second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, I anticipate after Red Bull Ring, there's going to be some change up to that order as well.
Hmm.
Somewhere a couple or at least one change, but probably multiple changes. So all those guys are in contention, and yeah.
We shall see. All right, moving on. GT4. Can we talk about
GT4.
GT4 now? Since I was ridiculed and drug out back.
Yes, let's talk
You
about
had nothing to
GT4.
say last season when you were on my team, jackass. So GT4, GT4 was very exciting. It usually is, but the top four between Cam, Preston, Hyphy, Thrasher, Dirksy was in there, Preston was in there, Huge Jar was in there, and it was just like back and forth. But it was like it was like lap 9, and all four of them were still within a second of each other, second and a half.
They had an early safety car, like we mentioned earlier, and
They needed it to
they
freaking
needed it.
catch their breath.
They did, and I don't know who it was. Somebody over the comms. I just died laughing. I was muted because I'm not sure if I'm still having issues with the podcast and it transmitting my voice. So I try to stay very quiet on there. So I'm not ignoring you guys during the race. I'm just trying not to say anything if I don't have to, and um let Chaotica handle any kind of coordination. But at any rate, one of them said, "This cannot go on the entire race. I'm going to have a heart attack," and I felt that because I was just watching those top four guys, and they were all bumper to bumper in line, lap after lap, changing positions, racing each other hard. And I was like, this is some of the best racing all season within
Yeah,
either league that we've seen.
yeah, and they were close. They gave each other room.
Every lap.
They, yeah, there was no like There was no rubber banding or bumping. They stayed paired up. And it wasn't like the four were on each other, but it was like a pair, and then they would swap a little bit. Then it was
Yep.
a different pair. But they still remained like so freaking close. And it was just lap after lap after lap, and it just went on and on and on. Uh, but again, I mean, it's cool because if you go back and watch the first races, the first Daytona GP circuit, everyone's still getting familiar with their cars, brake points, how it handles, tire wear, all that stuff. And now we come to the end of the season where everyone's comfortable in their cars. They can press it a little bit farther, knowing where their braking zones are, and still not make impact with anybody. Proves that we can have closer, tighter racing in those situations. And it has. Everyone's familiar with their car, they know how it runs, and they know how each other run. That's the important thing, is these guys running with each other week after week know how they race, know how they defend, and which gives you the confidence in following them to be able to kind of telepath, not telepath. I said this last time. Telegraph. Is that it? No. It's so late. It was such a hard day at Monday for work.
It was a Monday for sure.
It was a Monday through and through. But they're able to kind of see where their opponent's going before they go there because they just know how they run. So it just helps with all of that. And it was close. Anatole got up there a couple times. And then there's a big fan base for that big fan base for Thrasher. Um, we loved seeing Thrasher up there, and it's not no offense to anybody else, but he's like legit OG deviant, and to see him up there pressing on people and making ground, I hated to see him mess up like that because he was doing so well, and there is a quiet cult following for Thrasher to see him turn it up one of these days and get podium, if not better, would be phenomenal. So,
He's getting there. I mean, you look at the points, you look at his finishing order,
mm-hmm.
you look at where he is, he's creeping up, uh, pretty consistently getting better each race, just about.
Yep,
And finishing position solid. And yeah, there was a period there he was in contention there. He was leading for a period, uh, in second place, challenging back for the lead. Had a little mess up. I think ran off the
yeah,
track or something. I felt the letdown in his voice when he said something over comms.
I know,
I was like,
I
I
know.
know that feeling. Trust me, it's a terrible, it's the shittiest feeling in the world because you've done it to yourself and you're
Yeah,
like, oh, if I just hadn't done that, I was doing so well. And um, so
yeah. Floody came on the Discord while during the race, and he's like, "Is anyone silently rooting for Thrasher?" And we're all like, "Yes."
speaking of
So,
Floody,
yeah.
I think Floody's in a unique position to be able to talk about what you mentioned earlier with running and being familiar running around people. He hasn't said this, but I would imagine probably the biggest transition issue that he has had, which hasn't been as much of an issue considering his placement in GT3. However, I think probably what he would tell you is the biggest difference is relearning how GT3 drivers drive, being that he
Hmm.
spent a whole season in GT4. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge is when you go from one to the other,
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
getting
it took
accustomed
him,
to the people around you.
yeah, and it took him four races to really get back in the groove.
Mhm.
Because he only scored 6 points, 8 points, 8 points until that fourth race when he grabbed 15 points. But yeah, I mean, it like you said, it's everything is just quicker. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's it.
The braking is quicker, your acceleration, all that is just so quick. There's just reaction times are a lot
Yep.
different when it comes to that. So, but I mean, you know, he's proven that he has what it takes. So, and I mean, I'm not trying to discredit him at all. Like, I saw him doing well in GT4 and knew he'd come in doing well. I honestly didn't think he would do as well as he's doing and where he's sitting today, but I'm proud of him for doing so because he got, like I talked about, he got that itch, what it
Yeah.
feels like to win, and now he just wants it every single time. So I'm scared to see what he does next season. We'll see what happens. But
See what happens.
this, yeah, this race though, back to GT4. You know, we were missing Curious Guy today, so he wasn't holding down last place, nor does he anymore.
Yeah.
That's relegated to Silo. Um, you know.
Sorry, Silo.
Yeah, sorry there, bud. That's what it is. But there was a ton of battles between so many different individuals, and like you said, a short track like this, you anticipate that happening. Um, but it wasn't a huge blowout by multiple different drivers. There were still close battles all the way to the end. There was a hell of a turn pass that Cam pulled on the last turn before the back straight that he passed two different people at the same time. I can't remember for the life of me who it was now, but it was a hell of a pass to get around him.
And he did this race one-handed.
Yeah, so okay, I was gonna hold off on that for a second, right?
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah. So he does this face reveal yesterday. And I didn't pay attention to the original photo he sent. I saw him with, pointing at the celebratory I won the race thing, and I was like, all right, he's gloating, he deserves it. I mean, freaking man's won more than half the races and FL for every single race. But then there was a follow-up photo that showed him in a sling, and I didn't honestly, not being in the PSN chat, I didn't know what had happened or whatnot. I mean, I saw him in the sling, and then it came out into Discord that he ran one-handed. Um, that just baffles me. That one, he did it. Two,
Yeah.
he did it well, and he freaking still won and got a fastest lap one-handed. And if I find out he's right-handed and his left hand is his offhand, fuck, I'm done, man. I'm just gonna hang. I'm gonna hang the wheels up on the wall and just kind of put the rig away.
Just do
Um,
admin stuff from here on out, huh?
yeah, no, I'll just do live commentating and steward and all that stuff, and that's all I'll do.
Well, take us through the order. Take us through the finishing order of GT4.
So one-handed Cam took first place and fastest lap. Um, was he on pole? I don't remember if he was on pole or not. I don't think he was.
I
Preston
don't
was
think
on
so.
pole.
I think
Yeah,
Preston
Preston
got
was on
pole.
pole. Preston took second. Last week's guest appearance. The beard helps. So does the Mustang. Hyphy with another third place finish. This is his third one of the season. Thrasher again. Damn it, he's in fourth this race. Huge Jar in fifth. Dirksey in sixth. Dirksey had a tough restart after the safety car. He got spun out, is what we'll call it. Completely pointing in the wrong direction. 3-car accident. That was pretty rough. Seventh was Anatole, eighth Sully, ninth Devon. Golden took 10th. Arcan took 11th. That's his first time with us. He took 11th place, and then Silo in 12th place, running on the rear. Anchor, who also did not put soft tires on the whole race.
I noticed that.
Yeah. He took the minute penalty and avoided the third pit stop that most everyone else did. And I was like, dude, I don't know if it's going to work. The pits here are about a minute long, so technically it's kind of a wash, but you're still on hard tires the whole time, which is going to be difficult. But looking at what he does as far as tire wear, his tire wear is horrible on that car. So He's like, look, I can't use anything else. He was getting like 4.5, maybe 5 laps on softs. That was it. So he was like, what's the point?
Well, to run through the leaderboard, as mentioned, Camzilla is holding down first with 114 points, with fastest lap every race. So that's so far, what is that? 7 points just in fastest lap. So
Mhm.
again, it's only 1 point a race, but these things add up. Uh, Second is Dirksey with 91. Third is
Yep.
Preston with 90. Currently, those are our three above promotion line, obviously.
On point.
Fourth is Huge Jar with 69. Fifth is Hyphy with 65. Sixth is Thrasher with 59. Then Anatole with 52. Followed by Sully with 45. Devin in ninth with 29. Lalo 28. Saito 24, Kuroskai 12th with 23, Golden Oracle 22, and Silo with 17. And then our two reserve drivers, Rutaz and Arcane.
Mhm.
So one more race to go. I think there'll be some position changes. Looking at the math, looks like the top three are locked into promotion pretty well. So
So, yeah. So, I
m-
mean,
mathematically,
mathematically, yes. So if we were to take a screenshot today, it would be these. It would be Dirksey Preston, Berman,
mhm.
Zod, and K2. Is that right?
K2
If he
Mars.
comes back, which I don't think he's coming back. Um, and Zod. So,
So that's how it's shaping out.
mhm.
And speaking of relegation, I know we've gone over it before, but we'll quickly recap. This is going to be on the 28th of April this month. So just a couple of weeks away. It will be at 11 a.m. It will be among the drivers we mentioned. It will be at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, without the chicane. You're welcome for that. It'll be a
Yeah, right.
30-minute race, and it will determine the position based on position who is relegated to GT3 for the upcoming season. It will be live streamed and announced by Floody and Zen, who we anticipate will be inebriated, which ought to be interesting. And it will be live stewarded by the admins, Glevis, myself, and yourself, serving as stewards for the race. So, um,
And as it stands tonight, the three cars of choice will be Audi, Supra, and Genesis. So I know the GT4 boys better start practicing. That's all I got to say. And it's not to discredit anything of what they're capable of. I'm just saying we know what Berman's capable of, and he's
yep,
just in a shitty car.
yep,
And you put him in something like the Genesis or the Supra,
or the Supra.
that boy's gonna be like, I'm staying in GT3, come get it. So
It's
we'll see
yeah,
what happens.
it won't be a cakewalk for anybody, for sure. So
Yeah.
So make sure you set that on your calendar for all you guys that aren't racing in it. You definitely won't want to miss this for a whole host of reasons. This is the first time we've ever done a promotion relegation race. We've certainly never turned over the podcast to two inebriated members to just go to town. I just beg of you guys, please don't take it too far and get us banned on YouTube. Just
We'll be fine.
and we've never had live stewards before on a race. So instead of IRs, we'll be adjudicating this on the spot. Uh, and and yeah, and there potentially could be multiple safety cars. So we'll see.
And rain. No.
No, not
Can
at
it rain at
Barcelona.
Catalonia? No, can't.
No, no.
Red Bull Ring it can though.
Red Bull Ring next GT race, it could rain. Which would be interesting. We always dodge rain, but if the last one comes rain, and it does like to rain there. It's like
No, it doesn't.
it
It's still the
does.
same. I was talking to Chaotica about this literally last night. It's the same potential, regardless, for any other track that is allowed to rain.
Is it though? Do we know that for a
Yes, it's
fact?
not. It's not based off of incoming wind off the ocean or high humidity down in the Gulf. Like it has nothing to do with that. It's down to the damn science and the parameters and the ratios of fucking picking. Excuse me, but you have to bleep that part out.
Sorry, we're not
It has nothing to do
monetized
with any
anyway.
of that. It's just luck of the draw. If you roll a
Well,
dice with
but
your left hand, and it's like, oh, it's more likely to come up as a six because I'm left-handed.
I feel like there are certain tracks that are just predicated to having rain. Sarth being one at the 24-hour track, Red Bull being another.
Here's
Um,
the thing.
what?
I'm
No,
trying to
wait,
think
wait,
back.
wait. No.
Has
I completely refuse. I just thought about this. There is no way PD has has simply just got to something this simple. Nothing has been this simple that it's just, oh, they're all the same. No, there is, wind speed at 24 inches per millisecond or whatever the hell it is. It's some kind of calculation done by them that weights based upon.
okay. If that were the case, what was the last race that it rained when we had it set up for random?
I don't know. We've gotten lucky.
Lucky? Oh, yeah, lucky. Lucky. It hasn't happened.
Well, it happened in Sunday Cup several times. Zen did his rain dance, and for a while there, every time Zen did a rain dance, he got rain. He's not been
Well, you
fortunate.
guys, you keep thinking that, and that's fine, but it's not going to rain. It'll be overcast. I'll give you this. You may get blips of what looks like rain, and it'll come across the track, and it still won't rain. It's not going to rain. It's as simple as that. Now, you want to bet on when the safety car is going to land? Yeah, early or late. I'll bet you that all day. But it's not going to be rain. I'm telling you. Sorry.
Okay, so the wheel of death is totally rigged itself, and the rain has totally not rigged itself. Got it.
Right.
So talking about what is coming up as well is a new season for Sunday Cup.
We're not
Uh,
talking about that yet. You've bypassed everything.
we've talked about relegation. We've talked about
Yeah.
GT3. We talked about GT4
Yeah.
in proper order, traditional
Teams.
order. Teams. Okay, teams.
Teams.
Yes, we did not do teams. Yes. Uh,
You
although
no no no
I,
no. Say it right. Say it. Say you were right.
you were correct, sir.
There
And
we
and
go.
let me
Thank you.
start with Team Lexus, which is clearly in the lead with 275 points. Congratulations. You and your, what did you call it? A three-way beer or something? Um,
No, this is no.
triple,
Dirksy's not on the show. We're not doing this Skyline chili thing again.
onions, and is that what it's
The
made with?
triple.
Onions and beans
I
and
don't know. He'll correct
whatever.
us.
Second place is Team Volkswagen. Congratulations with 247 points. Rounding out third is again and continually Team Ford with 187. AMG, my team is sitting in fourth with 164. Toyota, 123. Team Genesis, only one behind, 122. And Team Audi, sorry guys, it's been a rough season so far. I don't think anybody's going to pick that car again. Rounding out team number 7 with 111.
So I was talking to Chaotic yesterday. He and I were working through setting up the groups for endurance race, and we were looking at the leaderboard and whatnot. He's like, I already upgraded it, updated it and everything. So looked at it and he's like, crap. I'm like, cool, what's wrong? He's like, I didn't think I'd be a captain. He's pulling a cowhow. He's like, I don't know if I want to be captain. You may not have a choice at this point, man. Uh, so it kind of just hit him yesterday. But again, we take a screenshot today. We got captains, myself, Booze, Floody, Besso, splitting up that team. Tex, Chaotica, splitting up our team, and Nismo, all taking captains for next season if we run it. And we are running it the same way we did last season. So it's going to be a finishing order this season. So that's
However,
what it
as we
looks like.
mentioned, with those points, they are pretty close, so that's not the final order. So if you want to be a captain, and you currently are, or you are in the running, you have one more race to do it and make a difference.
Yeah, so if you want to, just throw a race, Chaotica. Don't do it. I need your points. Every point matters. So yeah.
That it does. So, all right. Well,
Now you can get into your next
Sunday Cup
up.
real quickly because we are running out of time. As you know, I
Oh,
like
that's what we missed last time when you were not here, is that whole thing of running out of time.
yeah.
Me and Preston just started bullshitting for half the damn time.
You had fun though, that's what counts.
No, it's
So with Sunday Cup wrapping up this season's Sunday Cup, Besso has taken the win quite with authority too. 274 points over Chaotica, number two, with 191. Well done. And Dirksey rounding out podium with 188. So Besso will be designing a race, God help us all, for next
Hey,
Sunday Cup.
he put a good race together last time.
He did. He certainly did. Uh,
It's
yep.
Glovis you have to worry about.
No, I enjoy Glovis races. They are from the onset. They look extremely stupid, and you question them, and you're like, this is dumb. You know he won't show up, and but they turn out to be extremely fun, and they turn out to be well thought out after you've completed them.
Turn left. Turn left. Oh, wait. Another turn coming. Turn left.
I
Yeah.
didn't get to do that one on that
We
race.
know.
You
We
got to
know.
do
I
it
looked at
again.
Chaotic's bumper the whole time. We've talked about it. I pushed him across the line. Blah, 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 blah. But
But
we're all
You know
building.
Besso will not do a NASCAR race. He
No,
doesn't like it. He doesn't understand.
100%.
So you don't
It's
have to
going to be
worry.
a drift challenge. Speaking of, and also, you're supposed to reveal something tonight too, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
what was the deal?
I don't know. Something. You said it yesterday that you were going to reveal something. You showed a picture to the admins
Yeah.
yesterday,
So yes, what we will show you for next
and
season's
I'm the disorganized one.
going to be GT3 and for GT4 is the new safety car. So I couldn't go with safety orange for sorted parties who aren't to be mentioned because of their hatred of the color orange. We've done yellow.
Yep.
So this season it will look like this. And I don't know what this color is specifically called. Bright green. Uh, again, highly visible. We're going with the only really remaining sports car that's left, the Megane RS
So
Trophy.
let me ask you this:
Sure.
Did you drift around that corner to take that photo, or was that Photoshop camera?
Absolutely not. That was done in the photo lab
I thought so.
with the yeah. I can't drift.
We know. Well, actually, you know what? We don't know that yet. And maybe, ooh, that's a good idea. Since the relegation race is only 30 minutes, and usually we have an hour allotted to it, maybe after that would be a perfect time to watch you drift on track. And we'll get Besso on the track with you, just doing donuts around you. But if I have to go back and recap there's video footage of you agreeing to this. So,
There is, and we did get the likes on the YouTube video, I believe, in very short order because some people worked extremely hard to obtain those likes. So
oh yeah,
we
absolutely,
appreciate
because this
that.
is going to be absolutely hilarious. I just need to make sure there's a camera on your face, a camera on your feet.
Yeah, my feet are gonna be going do 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 do. Wheels gonna be going do 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 do.
It's just like going back to the video Chaotica put together of the death chicane, and everyone, how many times everybody hit the stupid thing when Silo was coming into it, and it was just flashing headlights because he's over there on the controller hitting every button possible,
Like it's Mortal
trying to move
Kombat.
the wall out of the way.
Like
Let's not
Mortal
drive
Kombat
around
back in
it.
the
Let's.
day.
I remember Glovis used to do the same thing when he was on the controller. Either his horn was honking or the lights were going off.
Yep. Yep. Uh yeah, I won't be on controller. I'll do it on the wheel. If Besso wants to jump in there and try to be coach on this, I'm sure he'll get frustrated, fed up, and
You have to make it 5 laps unassisted, and then he can start helping you. 5 attempts at a lap. Okay. And we're going to do an easy track for you. All right. It'll be like Nürburgring or Sarth.
5 laps, 5 laps around the Nürburgring.
Oh, or even worse, I'll give you the worst track, Horse Thief Mile. You gotta go drift around that in the
Oh,
Viper.
oh, jeez.
So,
Well,
all right,
all
that's
right.
that's enough of that. But
We
that's
will,
coming.
we will
You
look
owe
into doing
us.
that. We will look
Not
into
look
doing.
into it is happening.
No, no, no. It will happen. We will look into possibly doing it after the relegation race.
All
If
right,
everybody's willing to hang on, since we have an extra, we don't have anything
and if
planned after
not,
that.
we'll just record it,
We'll
live
just,
stream it, and we'll stay on the PSN chat and laugh our asses out.
yeah, anything I
That'll be
can
awesome.
do for everybody's entertainment.
No,
Sir.
yeah, we appreciate you for that. Last thing is registration for GT3, GT4 is in process. Um, not a whole lot of time left. There's like 2 weeks left before we're pulling that, and that'll be done. Uh, track list is pretty much done based on everyone's voting. It appears that there's going to be 2 or 3 tracks that we've never driven before. So, Anatole, crunch your numbers, start giving us ideas of what those might be. We'll tell you once we're once we're good on it. So it's looking forward to next season. We haven't even talked about car list yet, and we're not going to tonight either. So
Yeah, they'll hate that too. Just wait until you see the list.
that's right. I'm in the GT3 car, and everyone else is in GT1 cars. Understood.
We're handicapping you next season. All right.
Yeah.
Well, uh, we are right at an hour. It has been good to be back, and I think the next several weeks are going to be quite interesting. We have endurance next weekend, so I hope everybody who's
How
signed
you
up.
feeling about that? Just real quick, but I know we got to get off.
Real quick. Yeah, endurance. I always like those.
What car are you leaning towards since you're in Group A with the GT3 cars?
I think I'm going to go with the 2016 AMG. I'm gonna
No shit.
keep it with AMG, Uh keep it something familiar. So
You should try the Lexus.
uh, eh.
The good thing is after 3 hours, you should know it pretty well.
It's true. That is
I
true.
mean, I'm definitely going with what I know and against the grain. I'm not doing the Lexus. I'm either going to do the Ferrari or the Lambo. I want to punish myself for 3 hours and see what happens.
Sounds like a good plan. You should definitely do that. You
Mhm.
should probably go for the Lambo. That would be my premium pick if I was absolutely looking
That's
for a
kind of
beating.
where I'm leaning towards, and I may rage quit halfway through, if not sooner. I will say if it starts raining, goodbye. I will back out of that so quick. We'll see, but I'm excited about the multi-class. I think that's going to bring a whole new dynamic. You know, we had that little Christmas race that Glovis did put together, a good race.
Again.
That was fun. So, and it'll be interesting to put, and it's cool that, you know, obviously Group B, we kind of put the like drivers together, which was more from the GT4 drivers, and the Group A more of the GT3 drivers. But it's gonna be cool for those guys to be in the faster car, passing the regular Group 3 drivers. So that's gonna be cool.
Should be a lot of fun. Should be exciting.
Not
Should
used to
be
hearing, hey, Junkai on your left. And
it's
3 hours of that, I might get pissed off. Like, stop passing me.
not something people get to say very often. So yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It'll be fun to hear anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Too bad we couldn't have a live stream of that one, but nobody's going to dedicate 3 hours of a live YouTube
Camzilla hit
stream.
me up today. He said he is going to volunteer to live stream that race.
Why doesn't he race? Oh, his arm.
Right. So he will be live streaming it. We will find out if YouTube can manage. I think they can. I've seen some YouTubers do streams that long.
No,
So
that's not a problem.
should be okay. But he is going to live stream the
Well,
race. So
well, I will say this. If he's not up to it, I can live stream it via Silo's PSN because he's out of town. So I could live stream it on his, and then every time I hit the straight, I'll just change the camera angle, and then I'll just do that every lap. Since it's 3 hours, everyone's going to get tons of fun from everybody. It won't be as active, but it still will be a different approach than what we're used to, you know? So
it'll work. It'll work in a pinch. So
yeah.
yeah. Well, that's what's coming up, and that's what's been happening. So we got April's going to be a busy, exciting month. We're just getting started, and so yeah, we will see how everything shapes out, and keep your eye out for the new Sunday Cup schedule, which will be coming out in short order, and yeah, so until next time, when we will be able to have a surprise guest, and we will discuss the results of where we ended up with GT3 and GT4. And so it'll be an exciting podcast, next one as well. So look forward to seeing all you there. So, anything else?
It's one of the longest seasons we've ever had. So
It is indeed the longest season we've ever had, and we are
yes.
coming up to the grand finale.
Yes, it'll be nice to get into a new car. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's right. All right, everybody.
I'm good.
Till next time. Good night.
Later.
Drifting. Jesus Christ. Ah, I forgot all about that.
Oh, I did not forget all about that.
I know. I forgot all about it, though.
No way in hell I was forgetting all about that.
I know.
What?
Oh God, go to GT3 discussion. Bruce, he says he just got the direct drive installed. He says first run with direct drive is unreal. Feels like the first time you plow through without a rubber. All these sensations.